Hello, and welcome to Criterion Connection. I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And little apologies. Last week we could not do an episode because of the snow. Because we live on the East Coast, so of course there's snow. So this week we're going to do 2 episodes to kind of make up for it and to catch up. But this one is with me. It is the one we were supposed to do last week. It is Shock Corridor by Samuel Fuller, whatever you want to say his name is. But yeah, this is actually one of the first Criterion movies I watched years ago when I worked at the video store. And I got to rent those Criterion movies. It's one of the first ones I rented.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of...
This is my first watch.
Yeah, and I think... Does this predate One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
By like 12 years.
Yeah, so it's like, this is kind of the precursor to that movie, I think. A little bit in the idea of it, of infiltrating.
I mean, Nellie Bly did it in like a long time before this.
Yeah, okay, never mind. So it's not the precursor, okay. But,
I just like the idea, I mean, this is early 60s, we're still in the heat of, racial tension, with the segregation in the 50s, and, we still have fairly primitive, treatments for mental patients, and it's a really interesting movie at this time.
Yeah, and it's a kind of it's an investigation movie. It's a cop.
Yeah, that's what's really cool.
Detective. He's like, I gotta figure out who killed this person in the kitchen of this insane asylum.
Right.
And
he's trying to break a big story.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm gonna infiltrate it by saying he's incestual with his girlfriend, but it's his sister, and
yeah.
And that plays a real big part near the end. That plays a real big part for him. And it kind of follows him at it's dealing with the patients. Yeah,
because the police couldn't get any information out of him.
Yeah.
Nor who knows how, forthcoming the staff is.
Yeah.
Particularly the guilty party.
Yeah.
Which it's hinted at in the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, so it's not, it's also kind of a logical conclusion of who did it and stuff like that. And there's a lot of good cast of characters. I think his name was Stewart. He was the cowboy.
The Confederate.
The Confederate. He does a great scene on that bench.
Yeah.
He's like, General Lee! And you're just like, oh my god, this guy is great in this performance. There was a scientist too, wasn't there?
Yeah, Dr. Bowden.
Yeah.
Who's got the mental capacity of a 6-year-old or something at this point. And then, because he was a scientist that worked on the atom bomb, the H-bomb, a lot of the rockets and missiles. And it kind of drove him, into this mindset where he tries to revert back to the innocence of a child.
Like a catatonic state.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, he just has the mind state of like a child, and it's probably due to him trying to reclaim his innocence. Like it as much as we know more now, like there's still, good representation like in it here and there for the mental illnesses. So
yeah. And then as he's doing this, he's kind of delving into the madness a little bit, and
right. The early scenario that they talk about, what they're worried about, what his girlfriend's most worried about is, if he does these tests, if he's around these people, will it rub off on him? And that is a really kind of sticky question.
And he kind of has an obsession. It's kind of like, I gotta get the story. Nothing's gonna stop the story. Which obsession can be a mental disorder as well.
Right.
Too obsessed on something. Which
is kind of what they base his infatuation with his supposed sister.
Yeah.
That is an obsession, and it's just kind of him playing into it.
Yeah. It's consumed him, and
it's a bit of hubris in this movie as well.
Yeah,
thinking that he can get out unscathed.
And there's a lot of great things going on, like a lot of great cinematography scenes, like the rain.
Stanley Cortez, I believe, was the
like the rain scene, and you're just like, what is going on? Like it feels like you're going crazy at times.
It's great, yeah.
Yeah, like this movie.
I love the shots of the street.
Yeah,
because it's always like all the way down the hallway, and it looks like it doesn't end. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, like it's for something from the '60s. It was pretty a lot of innovative things there in this film.
Yeah,
like cinematography wise. I like this film a lot.
Yeah, it's a great film.
I gotta own it. So that might be a spoiler. So buy, rent, or skip. I'd say buy. I kind of spoiled myself saying it. I'd say buy this movie. This is the only Sam Fuller movie I've seen. Mm-hmm. I kind of want to watch more. Even back years ago at the video store when I watched this, I was like, I gotta watch Naked Kiss.
Yeah, we'll have to watch Naked Kiss.
But I never got to the chance to watching it. So
we'll get to it on this show.
We have like 1,000 movies to go through, so
it's gonna be one of them.
We got 1,000 movies and Mortal Tenenbaums to go through. Anyway, so I say buy. It's a really good film to watch.
I think I'm gonna put this as a high rent.
Oh.
Like right below buy, because it's a great film, and I just think for an average audience, I think the beginning and kind of the way the characters are, because a lot of characters are really over animated. And
it's also kind of dated.
It's really noir speak kind of stuff going on, like a little too far into it, I think.
That's true. That's a good point.
At least in the beginning. But there's a lot of great sequences in it, so like part of me wants to say buy as well. I mean, I own it as well. So like I just part of me is like, obviously the cinephile is gonna need it in their collection. So it's definitely a great movie, and there's a lot of great sequences. You talked about the rain. There's also like the superimposed where he's dreaming of his girlfriend, and like where like she throws the bow in his ear and he's like stop, and it's like perfectly like situated. Like that's hard to do.
And the peeling of the onion of like the mystery is really good too. It's not too over the top and crazy.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Like something Christopher Nolan would do.
They give you like it's a throwaway line in the very beginning of the film, like when he first enters the asylum.
Yeah.
And when you finally can link that in is probably right before the last patient he needs to interview, and basically crack through their
wall.
Through the wall. Through the wall. Like, reach their sane mind for a second is kind of the idea. I don't know if breakthrough is really kind of the right word for it, but that's kind of what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting. They bring up, they have electroshock or electroconvulsive therapy, and adding into the film the idea of memory loss, which is a real side effect from it, I think is really interesting, and how that plays into the story. And it's not, like, it almost seems too far-fetched, but it's, like, it's legit. Like, you can have short-term memory loss with ECT.
I mean, and you're getting fried. Your brain's being fried.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, doesn't surprise me with the ending either.
Yeah. So that's our thoughts on Shock Order. Leave a comment below. Down there. Let us know what you think. Also, we're using a new camera and new gear for this episode. Let us know if it's better than the old camera. The other camera had issues with autofocus, and sometimes you would go without focusing. This is a new camera that we're checking out. So
does it show off my bronze skin?
Yeah. Let us know in the comment section how you think about that. Because in 2019 we're trying to improve everything. Mm-hmm. We are trying to get more cameras as well. So leave a comment below, and like I said, there's another episode this week, and it's going to come out the same time as this episode. So in case you didn't see it, but I'm going to be out of the chair, and Scott's going to be sitting here, and you guys are going to talk about Life of Brian as like a reward for sadly we didn't have an episode last week. Yeah. We're going to have 2 episodes this week. We're going to have double the Criterion this week.
Twofer.
Yeah. And also check out our companion show that kind of came out past Friday. Yeah. B-Movie Den. It's kind of like Criterion Connection, but Criterion Connection we evaluate film. We check out the brilliance of it and stuff like that. B-Movie Den is I probably get a little too drunk and I talk about B-movies with Gary. And you'll be on the show and Scott will be on the show eventually. Check it out. It's Deadly Prey. So if you've ever seen Deadly Prey, if you haven't, watch it. So that's all I have. Subscribe and share, of course.
Always.
Yeah. So until next time, I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And we will see you later.